Hey guys, Jay, welcome back to the channel. Almost screwed that one up. My mic was muted. How's it going, everybody? Oh my gosh, today today has been one crazy thing after another. I just can't believe what's been going on. Like seriously, this is one crazy day. I gotta tell you. So this morning I woke up, and the first thing I saw was, of course, the announcement for what's it called Eternia. And it was broke by a number of different websites, including friends of the channel, Toy Habits. If you guys haven't already, definitely head over to Toy Habits YouTube page, as well as toyhabits.com. Give them a like and a follow. They are covering so much about Masters of the Universe, Origins, Masterverse, pretty much everything under the sun, and they're always on top. They monitor pretty much every news bite that's out there. Definitely give them a like and a follow. Tell them that Jay sent you. Yeah, so we found out all about the Master Universe Origins Eternia playset. What a freaking crazy development that's been going on there. But uh, we'll circle back to that a little bit later because that's obviously top of mind right now. But what's even more interesting at this hour, anyway, because the day is still young. I mean, it's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon, right? So right now. And I know I get it. The thumbnail that I made is a bit clickbaity, but I really don't know how else to present this. I mean, seriously, they haven't really given like it's they've left this so open to so many different jokes, and just the whole idea of it. Because let's just put this into perspective. The character that was unveiled today for this Ghost Rider Haslab project, it's not even really a part of Ghost Rider. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, everybody, but isn't the Goblin Queen, an X-Men character? I'm just trying to put this into perspective here. I mean, I understand we have demons, we have Ghost Rider, we have a whole bunch of things that are happening along the way. But what the heck? Seriously, this is one of these things where I guess you're trying to draw back in some X-Men fan to try and get this campaign re-energized and back up to speed, and I totally get that. And we're going to get to that. We're going to get to all of this. We're going to get to the whole thing because there are a lot of other things that are kind of on top of mind right now in terms of like what's happening with this Haslab project in general. But definitely, yeah, talk about dangling a carrot in front of you. There also is the idea that what happened to these tiers? They're up and down a little bit. I mean, Mephisto is at a certain tier level, and Madeline Pryor is at a certain tier level. What is going on? Who weighs a little bit more in the annals of the Marvel universe? I'm wondering. But anyway, definitely want to get into all of that. But before we just jump like headlong into that, let's say hi to everybody in the chat. This is just crazy. Bethany Beth, hey Bethany, what's going on? Jay, have you seen the Mattel website? Yes, I have. It's absolutely crazy. The news about Eternia pretty much blew everybody away. And we're definitely going to touch back on that a little bit later in the episode. But I wanted to cover this because this is kind of kind of crazy in and of itself. Sculpt Viper Tommy, finally catching your live stream for the first time. I read the news, came here to see your reaction ASAP. Thank you, Sculpt Viper Tommy. I really appreciate you joining us for the chat. Awesome to see you. Bethany Beth, whoop, absolutely. Ryrick 33, boobs. Yes, boobs. Like, just crazy. Genova, what's up? What's up, Genova? Good to see you. Captain K, hey, what's going on, Captain K? Good to see you. Right, Ken. I was about to go to sleep, but boobs. I know, Patty. I know, 100%, right? Micah Lennon. Hey, Micah, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. David Chance. They would have had to add a flaming horse and flaming bike with Blackheart and Mephisto, and then maybe would back it for $350. You know what? I said that in one of my other live streams. That, you know what? I think people would have been happy with 2 bikes, a flaming horse, and the 3 riders. I think that would have been huge. And you know what? Maybe throw in Robbie as an extra character. That would have been really fun too. But that's not how it happened. And here we are today. Renegade Biker. Hey, Jay and chat. Good to see you, Renegade Biker. What's going on? Micah. Yep, Micah saying hi to everybody. Mecha Man Blade. I think the leak of Eternia's price pretty much killed any possibility of Ghost Rider Haslab being backed. You know, it depends. A lot of people who are, you know, on both collecting trains, right? Whether or not they're with Marvel, you know, whether they're collecting Marvel and Master Universe at the same time. Yes, this actually could make them decide one or the other. But you never know. It might be along those lines. We're gonna have some special guests joining us very, very soon. As a matter of fact, it looks like we have somebody in the in the waiting room, guys. So let's go ahead and bring him in right now, because this is going to be a lot of fun, I think. Guys, please welcome Collecting Classics back to the stream, everybody. Hey, what's going on, Ray?
What's going on, guys? How are you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. We're just saying hi to everybody in the chat. But Ray, let's get your first reaction. What the heck is going on today between Eternia and the Goblin Queen? What is happening, my friend?
I think it's amazing. No offense to the Goblin Queen, but Eternia just came out. Like, are you crazy? And let's go!
That's right. Let's go, brother. Let's go. Jose Hernandez. I would pay $350 for the Goblin Queen. I'm sure you would, brother. Russell Hale. Do you think there will be a single release of Madelyne in Canada? No, I do not. I believe this will be the only way that they can get Madelyne in the line at all. And I've got a couple of things to talk about that, though. You know, I think truthfully they picked the wrong sculpt, in my opinion. David Chance, Hasbro's getting desperate. You know what? I don't think it's Hasbro. I think this campaign might be. There might be something to it. From the X-Men, Jean's clone. Yes. See, that's the problem. We're crossing teams now, right? It's kind of crazy. Gen X says Goblin Queen. Absolutely. God Ravage. Now we all, that's not what the Goblin Queen's chest looks like. This is true. This is absolutely true. And that's actually what we're going to get into today. Did they get the sculpt right? Many choices here. Many choices. Let's see here. Mecha Man Blade. 5,386 backers. The number keeps going down every time I check on it. And that's, I think, what's been going on and one of the reasons why this has happened. Backyard Adventures. Maybe they're adding a sixth figure. You never know. At this stage, anything can happen. I mean, we've seen it with other Haslab projects for G.I. Joe. It did happen twice. So we shall see, guys. We shall see. Captain K. They need to show off all the tiers day one. This has been a criticism of the Haslab projects since time immemorial. They've decided to go at it at this rate, and you know what? It might actually, depending on how many different types of demons they actually release, you never know. It actually might get people excited. I just don't know. It's hard to tell at this point. Sundown Studios 2.0. Hey, you said anals. I did. Let's see. Aaron Hardy. That would probably be annoying me if she's a tier that has nothing to do with Ghost Rider. Might as well add Mr. Fantastic at that point. Ouch. That is a fair point, though. That is a fair point. Jay Vizsla. Hello there, everybody. Hey, what's going on? One Punch Man. Getting Eternia since it's a better deal than a $350 department store plastic toy car. Ooh. Oh, man. Ray, that shots fired, man.
I feel that.
Grave Omatic. Hey, Jay. Greetings from California. Good to see you, Grave Omatic. You're in Ray's neck of the woods. Jose Hernandez, Eternia 550. LOL. Need to say for that though. See, this is Ray. This is what we're talking about. This is what we're saying, right?
But no offense, we've known that Eternia has been creeping its way for months. So, like, if you haven't been saving, you know, I don't know, man. That's crazy.
Yep. Mecha Man Blade says, more interested in the retro Ghost Rider with bikes showed at the Hasbro Pulse Con. I still don't see any pre-orders on that. I believe that's actually not a Pulse Con. It's a Pulse Con exclusive, but it actually will be released a little bit later on, I believe. Hank VP. Hey, live stream. Cool. Absolutely. Welcome, Hank. Gravomatic, you're going to the storage locker to display Eternia. It's going to take up that kind of footprint. It really is. Ken, crossing the streams. Yes, indeed. Greg Martinez. Sup, Jay? What's going on, Greg? Ray Black. Hey, Ray and Jay. What's going on, Ray? Good to see you. Greg Martinez. Man, Eternia is 600 by November. Dang. Yes, but you know what? It's way less than a lot of us were thinking. We were thinking 800 to 1,000. Mike Headley. Cool. Bethany Beth. Hiya. Greg Martinez. Damn. G.I. Joe classified exclusives. LOL. Ryrie Ken. If I had to choose between the two, I'll choose Eternia. There you go, everybody. All right. So
and in the battle between Mattel and Hasbro, with them not releasing a bike, with them not releasing Robbie Reyes, with them not releasing Mephisto, or even coming close to backing it and to get those numbers to release it, it's looking pretty grim for Hasbro right now, especially when we have the Motu mothership that just entered our atmosphere. Haslab's going to have to do something to combat this, because there's no way that people are going to back such a project when there's such a dream piece in the works. I mean, I'm hearing Marvel fans looking at Eternia. I'd say I'm hearing also that people would just buy it just for the Goblin Queen, which is great. But in reality, I think Mattel did a perfect drop right now while Hasbro is trying to scrape to get that 350. They just said, hey, let's do Eternia right now and just take it away from them. And I think they did. I think Mattel won that battle.
It's interesting, the timing. I mean, the leak that happened this morning, right? I was expecting to see
Fall Guys.
Let's go ahead and bring, we're talking about it anyway, right? Let's just bring it up. So today on Master of the Universe, they have changed their header card. It is Master of the Universe 40 years, and we see some amazing figures up there, beautiful stuff. But the reality is, this actually is an interesting notion. Where did this come from? I mean, all things being equal, I was expecting to get news about where is it now? I was expecting to get news about Camel Khan, or the Fall Guys. Instead, today we get the Eternia playset, which was supposed to launch, it says right here, on October 12th, which is next week. So what happened? I think the leak actually forced their hand, right? Because basically somebody already put out the fact that it was $550 plus $50 shipping, so it's $600, within the United States. And I think they just had to scramble and do some damage control. And they said, "What the hell? Give it a week for everybody to stew on it, right? And then when we launch it, we'll see how it goes." But wow, talk about stepping on the toes of the Madeline Pryor announcement. That kind of like probably was a big, huge what the heck happened there, right? For Haslab. And I wonder if they had to scramble as well, knowing that now they have to compete with not just the people trying to back the Ghost Rider project, but now this. I think a lot of things happened today. The whole toy sphere literally collapsed in on itself in one day. This is unheard of. Absolutely unheard of. Oh my gosh, just crazy.
And to be fair, not to discount the price point or the leak, but you're not including processing fees. You're not including tax. You're not including, a few of those hidden fees that we would tend to see. But I think it's a great way to give the community a heads up a week early, because if they did it like this week, obviously people would just fall over and it wouldn't make its numbers. It gives people a week out to prepare. And then it gives us something soft to end with, because if you didn't make Eternia and you feel the FOMO, you'll be able to try to jump on that CamoCon. So I think it's a good way to give everybody a little bit of what they need, because if you did CamoCon and then Eternia, I think it would ruffle a little bit of the feathers of people that said, well, I could have saved for Eternia. It gives them a week out, and then it gives us a soft ending for CamoCon and Fall Guys on the exit of Mo Tuesday. I think it's a great move.
Got you. And you know what? Your logic makes total sense. But it really does step on the toes.
It crushes them. Absolutely.
Hasbro. Like, honestly, I think that they were looking at Madeline Pryor as a Hail Mary kind of situation at this stage, because let's just look at some of the numbers here, guys. Like let's just take this a bit at a time. So if we look all the way back 33 days ago, sorry, not 33 days ago, 33 days, 6 hours and 35 minutes on the clock. They were at 5,452 backers. Over a few days later, 29 days, 9 hours and 59 minutes. They were up to 5,458. So they had gained a little bit, not a lot. But today, just prior to the announcement, just prior to the Madeline Pryor announcement, they were sitting at 5,386 backers. That is a drop of almost
200. It's over 200.
Well, no, not 200. It's just shy. It's just shy of 100. It's no, it's hold on, 500. My math is terrible. Hold on, let me just you know what? Let's just bring up the calculator. So 4,058. So
Oh yeah, it's like 100.
458.
But they're moving backwards. Is the point? You know, I mean, it's terrible.
Minus 386. At 72 backers, like that, they were steadily moving backwards incrementally. And if we do a quick refresh on the backers right now after the announcement, let's see if it's gone up any. It has gone up some, but not by a lot. It's now 5,390. So it's gone up by 4. But you know what? Here's the thing, and let's not get this twisted, right? Check this out. So if we head over to the Hasbro announcement, which happened around 1 hour ago. Now it was announced around 12:30 or so. It's it says it all. This is a clone of Jean Grey, the Goblin Queen, and here's the situation: if the Marvel Legends Engine of Vengeance Haslab Project reaches 10,000 total backers of the campaign before October 31st, 2022, this Marvel Legends 6-inch scale figure will be added for all backers. See Hasbro PulseCon for details. Check out some of these comments. It's actually kind of telling what the mood of the of the community is. Captain To Michael says, "Just drop her in a retail wave." That's pretty harsh. Because we can you know what, I'm going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that pretty soon. Yeah, please release her as a single figure. Kit Bash Custom says, "Nah, this ain't it. Y'all need to add all the stretch goals to the 9K total fund to even get this funded." Yeah, they should. You know what? A lot of people are saying that they should, reveal the tiers. What do you think, Ray?
You know, I think it would be beneficial to let people know what the options are, and to really get backing behind a project and get people excited. It says, hey, in three figures we get Mephisto, or in 2 we get Mephisto, or whatever it is, because that's one of the biggest ones that people want. I think it's a great option to let people know what they're getting, because right now it feels like a mystery box, a really expensive mystery box, and one that is not even coming close, especially against a giant like Eternia. And no offense, not everybody collects Motu. I totally get it. But I'm projecting right now, you're about to see the 5,000 mark for Eternia get smashed. I think it's going to sell out so fast that it's, we talked about this a while ago, and I think projections are going to hold true. When you have a project like Haslab and it's suffering and it's just not growing, it's just not moving, no matter what they do. Robbie Reyes, we take him out. No, now we're going to add the head sculpt. Oh, here's the Goblin Queen. Oh, now we're not going to make that. Now here's Mephisto. We're going to tease it, but we're not even close to that, so we can never release that. It just seems like putting the cart in front of the horse, and we know that just doesn't work. So I think they should release that information on what they're willing to give to the backers, but will they? I don't think so.
Yeah, some people are saying things like, this ain't going to do it. It's even moving backwards, if anything. Which, you know what, we'll find out by the end of the day for sure. R. Ben Castro says, "I lost all hope on the Haslab that it hasn't passed." Yeah, and then they're quoting how many backers there are currently. Sorry, R. Ben continues to say, "Damn, like it was definitely going to get funded slowly, but after early bird went down hard, it never recovered." It's pretty crazy. Immerzad says, "No one cares." Holy crap!
Yeah, that's heavy.
Ian Ram says, "You don't really hear the fans." Wow, just crazy. Here's a positive one. Shupai Whiskey says, "My dream, I need, I want." Yes, there are definitely some people who definitely see this as a plus, 100%. Spiritula Taco says, "Why on earth would this come with Robbie Reyes?" This is an honest question. This is an X-Men character, right? Why is she being included on a Haslab project? Sorry, on a Ghost Rider project. It's kind of crazy. Blue Line Legend says, "Simply out of desperation to win the Haslab campaign. This is sad, honestly. Madeline Pryor, Jean Grey has nothing to do with Haslab. whereas the stretch goals for Galactus and Sentinel made sense. This is a desperate attempt at most. Ouch!
Oof.
Oh my God, that's scathing.
It's putting holes in them.
This is crazy. Shin Dad Rod said they could go Haslab as they did with the Hellfire box set. You were all just justifying this BS too hard. Oh my gosh. Jayton Nesson, I'm pretty much gonna screwing that up. She's the Goblin Queen and was a big player in the Inferno crossover. Might not be tied to Robbie Reyes, but definitely involved with Ghost Rider and Demon World. Cry about it. I guess we could definitely go on that stretch, but it's pretty telling what's actually going on here. I think that they are looking at this as a Hail Mary. What are your thoughts, Ray?
Like you said, it's a desperate attempt at trying to gain the fever. You know, you want a fever in your audience. You want people to be excited about stuff. You want people to be interested in product. You want people to be amped up about a release, such as, you know, the Goblin Queen or Robbie Reyes or Mephisto or whatever it is. It's simply not happening. And you have to be aware, not everybody's a collector. There is a secondary market out there that is looking to capitalize on the product. And when a product isn't producing enough meat on the bone to sell aftermarket, we have to keep in mind there's Flipper Franks out there. It doesn't leave a lot of options for any buyers potentially looking to capitalize on this, because we know that product doubles when it hits the market and when something sells out. So against a project like Eternia that costs $200 more, but look at what you're getting, right? Where here we're not seeing that value for the money they're asking. So it makes sense for people to inevitably move over to a project that does make sense, not only on the secondary market, but for collectors as well, because whether you're Marvel or not, who doesn't want Eternia, folks? Let's go. Woo!
Absolutely, 100%.
You can tell what I'm buying.
Yes, I can tell which camp you're on, and yeah, it looks like Marvel Legends does not have a future in your collection right now. Sean Solo says boobs. Gen X says Eternia is boring. I want more female Marvel figures. This is fair. It's not, it's your choice. It's your money.
It's a nice contrast.
Russell Hale says if they put in a Psycho version of Sue Storm, that would be a great figure. There's an idea. But again, does it match with Ghost Rider? I don't know if she was actually in a storyline with that. Gravel-Matic says the only way I would have backed this Haslab would have been if it came with Nick Cage, Face, and Danny Ketch. Yeah, this is a lot of people's opinion that, you know what, it should have been the Riders, right? That's definitely something.
Or a bike.
Go ahead, Ray.
Or a bike.
Or at least a bike, at least one, right? As a matter of fact, why not reveal the tiers and show that there is a bike out there? Yeah. You know what I mean? That would have been, I think that would be huge.
For $350, for $350, a head sculpt and the green Goblin Queen as a fake, that's not going to do it. I mean, shit, you could add a unicycle with flaming wheels and it would get more attention. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just not doing it.
100%. And you know what? There's more things we have to touch on, because we'll be talking about the sculpt in a bit, because honestly, there's a lot to dissect here. But let's finish this one. The Watcher's looking, they need to add 6 figures for me to back it. Instead of pushing the fans to get the ridiculous tiers, get 6 figures up by the end of the week before they close. If not, they will not get another cent. Wow, that is scathing. Thank you for that comment. The Watcher's looking. That's crazy. We'll do another one. We'll do another one quick, and then we're gonna move on to the sculpt itself, because there's a lot to dissect in the sculpt. So let's see if there's anybody we haven't talked to yet. Let's see, who haven't we talked to here? Alan Rosette. Is that figure even going to stand up on its own with those heels? That's interesting, Alan. That's funny. Most of her is still based on an existing buck. I'm almost 100% sure. So yes, I'm pretty sure she will definitely be standing on an existing buck. If I'm not mistaken, there is a version of Madeline Pryor in the Hellfire Club set that was released, a year ago. 2 years ago for Hasbro Pulse. So more than likely, most of this is based off of that buck. So I guess we'll see. Anyway, let's talk a little bit more about what we see here, Ray, because honestly, there's a bit more to dissect than a lot of people think. So first of all, it's interesting how this works. We have to look at the wording here. It's very specific. Check this out, everybody. Too much. Check this out, everybody. We have to look back at this because if the Marvel Legends Haslab Project reaches 10,000 backers total, then this scale will be released for all backers. Interesting. So here's my question to this: Is this a new bonus figure? Because if we go back to this quote, check this out. This is interesting. Mephisto, the Marvel's Mephisto figure will be unlocked for all backers as Tier 1 when the campaign reaches 12,000 backers, and that has not changed. What's going on here, Ray? What am I looking at here? Am I reading that wrong? I believe this does say Tier 1, 12,000 backers.
Yeah.
But this says that this is going to be unlocked at 10,000 backers. So is this Tier 1 or is that tier? What are we looking at here, Ray?
I think there's an original projection, right? And I think Mephisto was the original projection, thinking coming off the heels of his success, the his tank. I think it was bold. I think it was a power move, from Mephisto. But now we're seeing that number change. 2,000 less, but still, it's double where we are now. So again, I think it's an option that they're giving people to see a little bit more into the window. But I think you're right. I think they should just come out clean and say, hey, look, guys, this is what you can get if we get all the backers. This is what we're offering, right? And if people see what they're offering, what they get, it kind of eliminates that tier process, but it allows people to see, okay, what am I getting for the money? Is it value? Because if it is, I'll back it. If it's not, and it's a gamble and it's a mystery bag, people don't really feel that confident, especially with a price tag like $350. So will they double the numbers? I don't see it happening with Goblin Queen. Will they make 12,000 backers for Mephisto? I don't see that happening either.
You know what, though? And those are very, very good points there, Ray. But I think I have to default to a concept that is more fair off. I think that, and a little bit more scathing, I think that we just have to come out and say this, Ray. This is a bit of a desperation move, honestly. They're dangling this carrot in front of us. They've literally lowered it by 2,000 backers in order to unlock a very sought-after character from a different line, granted. But why? They're actually bringing in, or hope to bring in, X-Men, backers, right? People who backed the Sentinel, people who backed, what's it called? Galactus. You know what I mean? Well, maybe not Galactus. Galactus not so much, but definitely the Sentinel, right? So they are definitely looking to actually bring in those people who have been asking and pleading and begging for this character, and they're leaving the bar, the barrier to entry really low, even lower than the first tier that was actually offered. This, to me, is a clear sign that this campaign is in huge trouble.
Absolutely.
And they're very scared right now. And you know what? The fact that the backers just continue to dwindle back and continue to retract their pledges, I think it's got a lot of the higher ups worried about this particular project.
Absolutely, especially when you look in contrast to the his project. What we saw in the last day or something, the projection was like, they wanted to hit a certain number, and I think they hit like 5,000 in one day or something like that at the tail end.
It was insane.
And that's huge. And so when you're contrasting projects like the his tank versus Marvel, now granted, G.I. Joe and Marvel are absolutely separate, and they're two totally separate fan bases. But when Marvel puts out the excessive amount of figures and releases that they do because they're under the Disney umbrella, you got to keep in mind that's a corporate move. They're going to be putting out more stuff. They might not put it out in the capacity you want or the way that you want, but here's an option, okay? We're Haslab, we're giving you the option. Unfortunately, I think they're a little punch drunk on the success of the his tank, and they're trying to have that trickle over into another area as Marvel, and it's just not meeting those expectations or projections. And again, like you said, this is a desperate clawing move towards the surface, and you're just not reaching it. And, I feel bad But you look at those faces on those guys in that release of the original Haslab Ghost Rider car, they're all stone faced and they're like 350. There's no excitement. They knew they were in trouble when they released it, you know. So I'm just not seeing it, man.
You know what? I'm right on board with you. It's really telling. It's really telling, and I think that it's not really fooling anybody. And there's another problem that we haven't even touched on yet: the sculpt. Ray Farr, thank you for the $5 super chat, my friend. You're awesome. Bizarre that the tiers are all demonic characters, even though Robbie himself is a Ghost Rider with no connection to demonic characters. Come on, Hasbro. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty scathing.
And with with Galactus and with Sentinel, those were great projects. Those were filled up quickly with great perks for backers. Those made sense. That got people excited about backing a project. Those were projects that really reached out and grabbed somebody. If you want to make a Fast and the Furious Ghost Rider pack and make it 350 and try to dangle carrots in front of people because it's just not making sense, that's when you're going to find themselves in trouble, as we are now.
100%. And you know what? We haven't even gotten to the elephant in the room yet, and we're going to get. And you know what? There've been a few elephants in this room. Like they've been stomping and tromping around all over the place. But
yeah,
but the reality is there's one thing which we haven't really talked about, and you know what? We might as well talk about it now. And I'm gonna reduce us so that everyone can get a good eyeful of this, because you know people came to see this. This is actually what people came to see. So guys, if you look at the sculpt of Madeline Pryor here. Honestly, I have to admit, she's looking pretty well put together. I'm not going to deny that. You know, she does look like she's sharing parts from the original Madeline Pryor release on the Haslab Project. Sorry, not Hasbro Project. The Haslab exclusive for Hasbro PulseCon, I believe, is in 2021, and for the Hellfire Club, she does look very, very good with that buck. However, if we look if we take a closer look at what the Goblin Queen is supposed to look like, I mean, sure, she's got the long flowing hair, she's got the beautiful brooch, you know, she's got the long sleeves of her upper costume. She's definitely got that plunging waistline, you know, the barely there what's it called, loincloth, those crazy thigh high boots. And of course, the stilettos. My goodness, crazy! And
that cape is wild too.
Absolutely, I love the transition from black to this wonderful metallic blue. Just gorgeous. And of course, she comes with her skull. However, I'm going to bring up a couple of pictures here just because I think they're kind of appropriate, or actually maybe not as appropriate. But anyway, we'll bring them up here and let's see if we can tell some differences with these pictures compared to what we're actually seeing in the sculpt. Tell me if you guys can see.
So there's a V cut.
What's going on here? I was going to let the people say something first, Ray, but anyway, yeah. Let's examine a few of these.
There's a bit more exposed there, mate.
Let's go ahead and go through some shots, that are here. So this is the sculpt we have here from Madeline Pryor. And, I have to do this because the thumbnail is kind of clickbaity. So, I might as well get this out of the way early. So there's Madeline Pryor as she will appear on this Haslab project. Beautiful sculpt, wonderful figure. Honestly, I have to say that. I really do have to give kudos to where they're due. But let's take a look at what Madeline Pryor looks like in comics. Wow. Holy crap. What's going on there? Kudos to the artist here. Wow. I love the demonic nature of this. Geez Louise, look at just the armies of the Goblin Queen coming around her. But yeah, she's got that, it looks like latex. You know what I mean? What do you think, Ray? It definitely has that latex look. It's got that shine on it.
It looks like she's ready for EDC Vegas, and what would have been cool? You know what would have been great, honestly, if they're giving us a Fast and the Furious car with Ghost Rider, they could have included a ghoul or kind of like a goblin dog or something to go with her. Would have made real sense too.
100%.
Because honestly, I'm looking at the Ghost Rider car and I'm saying, no, But then you look at the figure and you go, would you pay $350 just for this figure? And that's where people are kind of backs against the wall right now, having to look at.
Absolutely. It would have been nice to have some sort of demonic type of vehicle as well. Yes, 100%. I agree with you. So, like, again, like a demonic dog or something like that. But we do see some of her signature features. We do see the brooch, the actual brooch, which is what they teased with Mephisto at PulseCon. And then we see some other additional features, but we'll get to those in a second. Again, this is another image of Madeline Pryor. She's very, very strong, obviously, and she's of course she's the Demon Queen, the Goblin Queen. There are differences in the brooch. We can see this one is more of a simple brooch, whereas this one here, it's got that wonderful bead pattern, which I believe is also, yes, it is also included in the sculpture. So definitely we're going to be more accurate to the original character. Here's another version of it. And again, the ornamentation is a little bit different. It's more flowery, if you will, but it's basically on par. And the inner lining seems to be a yellow in certain cases, but honestly, I'm thinking that they really hit it out of the park with this blue lining. I think it's really, really well done. As you can tell, I'm just avoiding the subject for a little bit. Here's here's another shot of Madeline, and another shot of Madeline. We can go on forever, guys. Ray, go ahead, say it. What's different about what's different about this?
I knew a stripper in Vegas named Candy that looked just like this. Let me tell you. But for honestly, for a toy company, God. I think this is a little bit risky for them to touch. As McFarlane probably could have gotten away with that outfit. But for Hasbro, they got to tone it down a little bit as we're seeing that kind of move to sell toys to, yes, it's an adult collector audience, but they have to make something marketable. And Hasbro has made that change to make things a little bit more PG-13. We've seen that drastic change happen in Magic the Gathering. As we know, Hasbro owns Magic and WotC. So we've seen that transition to clean up a little bit of the outfits. And we're seeing that again with the comic version and the toy version of Madelyne here. But I think they did a great job. I think the cape is awesome. The hair sculpt is right on par. The skull is kind of generic. If you can't make a skull or sculpt a skull, you got problems, but they nailed that one.
Well, we can just pick them off of the Rancor. I mean, we can grab that off of him. I mean, there's tons of bones where he's about. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm going to counter that. I'm going to counter that by saying one of the things that they actually said when they advertised this whole concept of Ghost Rider is that they were talking about the idea that they were going to release figures which would not otherwise be possible to release in any other capacity. So that really tells me that these are actually aimed towards adult collectors.
Yes.
And let's just be perfectly honest. And you know what? I'm gonna grab something really quick. But Ray, what are your thoughts on that point?
Oh, no, I think you're right. It's geared towards the adult collector. Unfortunately, again, being a 14-year-old collector or a kid collector, you just don't have the capacity to mow enough lawns to make that affordable for a youth collector. So this is absolutely geared to adult collectors. Keeping that in mind, is it enough to bring them in? That's the question. And again, with these numbers that are going back and forth and dwindling and not even getting up to 6,000, that's worrisome. And I just don't know if there's enough on the bone with all the carrots they're dangling in front of us to keep that feast moving.
Totally agree on all that, on all your points there, Ray. But you know what? It's one of these things where I have to continue with this particular point. We're adults, we're not kids. You know what I mean? And I know what you're saying that it's a possibility that maybe kids would be able to get this. No, that's not possible.
No,
you're asking people to shell out $350 freaking dollars, right? And if you're going to do that, and you're doing a Hail Mary pass, if you're going to do a Hail Mary pass now, go for freaking broke. That's my point at this stage. Go for freaking broke. Don't hold back. You're not you're not dealing with kids. Like let's just put that.
So are you saying that if they added this outfit, let's say this one right here on our screen, if they made Madelyne with this outfit, do you think it would have done better?
Well, here, let me show you something. Okay, let me like just all things being equal. Check this out, guys. Check this out. All right, who's that? Who's that?
That's a riskier bust.
That is, who is that, right? Who is that, right? And what line is this from, right? Where is this line from? I'm going to give you a spoiler. This is Tigra, and she's from the Marvel Legends.
I thought we were going to wait for the comments section. I was hoping somebody in the comments would have got it.
I'm pretty sure that, like, again, we're done asking for permission. We're done asking for permission. We're going straight for the jugular today, guys. Like, seriously, this is something we got to come into, and this is a retail release, Ray. Okay, now you got to explain this to me, Ray. This is a retail release, right? What is she wearing? She's wearing practically nothing.
Yeah.
Right? She is literally wearing nothing. Okay, she's got her tiger stripes. I'm sorry, those are on her body. Okay, like, I'm sorry.
She looks like she's ready for Burning Man.
She's yeah. Actually, I think that she needs to remove the top first before she goes Burning Man. But anyway, this is the kind of thing which confuses collectors. How is it that we get this on a retail release? This is available at Toys R Us, where kids can see this in the toy aisles.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Why is it this is appropriate, but this is not? You know what I mean?
Oh, like, well, look at Witchblade. You remember Witchblade?
Yeah, Witchblade.
Oh my gosh, she's completely new. I mean, holy cow!
Pretty much. I mean, it was this less another piece of back piece. You know what I mean? Like, what is the difference? Instead, they're giving us this.
Yeah, it's a conservative approach.
It is,
and it looks a little bit more like I could take the head off and swap it with an Evil Lyn, and I'd be better off. The new Evil Lyn actually with the bat outfit, the Masterverse. It's similar to this, but she even has more risky the spiderweb leggings, and I think you're right. If Haslab wanted something to swing after, they could have. Yeah, like you said, adult collectors are going to want something a little bit more.
Here's the thing, okay? If you are going to do a Hail Mary pass, all right, and you're going to tell people, and here's my problem: if you're going to go ahead and tell people that we could not do this figure outside of Haslab, you just lied, right? Like, sorry, you weren't being as sorry. You didn't lie.
Yeah, they did.
No. Hold on. Let's
because they have the power.
I think
they have the power to package this and make our own artwork and put it out as an initial release.
Fine, but I'm gonna refrain from saying a lie. I'm gonna say that you weren't, you're being a little disingenuous because you released something like this as a retail product. Right? If you had not released this as a retail product, I probably would shut my mouth right now. But you did, right? There's my biggest problem right now. Right? If you're gonna dangle this in front of me, right, and say, "Hey, buy me," because you know what, you're never gonna get the Goblin Queen again, right? And you're gonna try and tell me, "Yeah, I
don't like threats like that." That's a threat.
It sounds like that, right? It's in some points, but it's not. It's not. Let's just get that out of our minds. It's not.
It is kind of a form of ultimatum. Predatory sales tactics. It says, "Hey, if you don't buy this now, or if you don't back this project, guess what? You don't get the apple."
It is to a certain degree. Like I'm not gonna shy away from that. But this is not the image of the Goblin Queen that everyone's accustomed to. Everyone was looking for this. You know what I mean? Everybody was expecting to see Madeline Pryor in her most powerful form, right? And this is what people were expecting. Like, dang, that is a bit too. There's your
Witchblade.
There's your Witchblade right there. Isn't this? Hold on, who drew this?
Hold on, is that McFarlane? Hold on, is that?
No, that's not McFarlane. I'm pretty sure that's one of the Top Cow guys. I'm almost 100% certain this was from Top Cow. But yeah, I mean, anime look, whatever. But seriously, this is what people were expecting. And again, if you were going to go ahead and dangle this carrot in front of anybody, right? I think you missed the mark, right? you tried your best, and I get it. And you know what? We're gonna hear all the excuses. It's like, oh, it was easier to color, you know, the upper movable ball top, right? Because because that's where we would cut her, so you can actually rotate the waist, right? You know, that kind of thing. You know, the paint would be expensive. You know, we're gonna get all those types of excuses, but the reality is this, right? The reality is this. Hasbro is having an identity crisis. You know, in many ways, Hasbro is having an identity crisis, and it's one of these things where they're struggling with whether or not they can release adult collectibles, even though they're selling them, because they have a lot of people to answer to, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm allergic to something, but you know what? Those multiple properties which have, you know, a history of being, in their eyes, anyways, questionable. I mean, does anybody remember this? Like this is a Hasbro product, right? And it's very doubtful we will ever see this ever again. Now, this has connotations outside of more skin, right? This has other connotations which Disney is not fond of, right? But a lot of people just say rename her if that bugs you. You know what I mean? If it really bugs you, rename the character, right? A lot of people have given her the name Hutslayer, right? Which is, you know, pretty appropriate. She did kill one of the most powerful Hut in the universe, and you know what? That's what a lot of people have chosen to call her. So you know, if this moniker bothers you, then you know what? Let's do something about it. Actually, it doesn't even say it. No, it does. It's actually down there. It's really, really small. But that's one of the dilemmas that we're stuck in. And you know what? It's one of those things where you gave us a half measure, right? You're asking fans to put faith back into the brand, but you know, offering us something which is only halfway there, right? Because again, you're offering us this, right? When we are expecting this, right? So it's just one of these things where, you know, the fans' view on this is going to be one thing, the corporate view is going to be one thing, and then of course there's the public view that's also going to say another thing entirely. But the reality is they're still drawing this character like this, so we have a lot of ground to cover. It's just one of those things. It's a half, in my opinion, it's a bit of a half measure. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Ray?
It's a half a carrot.
Yeah, I think that's unfortunately where it ends up being. Now, but I will say that's a wonderful sculpt. It is a wonderful sculpt. Like,
the head sculpt's amazing. Yeah, the hair's great. You know, it's really it's captivating. You want to look at her and go, oh, she's pretty. You know, but I think again, they kind of cut corners and they put out an easy product versus doing a correct product. Absolutely.
So earlier, before the stream started, I actually put out a poll asking people for a bit of a comment to see what they thought, and I want to bring that up right now. Let's see here. Where is it? Here we go. Okay, so on the poll, I asked, will you back the Goblin? Will you back the will you back the Ghost Rider Haslab Project if the Goblin Queen is unlocked? It's not looking good. Yes, 12% say yes, 75% say no, and 13% say seriously. Wow, that is something. And on the opposite side, sorry, that was Mega J Retro, and on MJR Collector. Let's see how
that's basically 88% saying no.
Yeah, let's see how MGR Collector. Wow, MGR Collector has almost the exact same the exact same numbers. 12% say yes, 75% say no, and 13%. Oh no, that's still the same one. That's
huge. That's huge.
But that's still the same one. Give me a second. I brought up the wrong one. Let's see it again. Let me.
But still, even with those kind of numbers,
here it is.
It's absolutely. If I was the one that was, you know, putting out a product like this, and I was on that Haslab team, I would be, you know, pardon my Spanish, I'd be shitting bricks. You know, it's really not looking good. You know,
yeah,
it's unfortunate.
The opinions are almost identical. 21% say yes, 64% say no,
that's
and 14% say you're joking, right? Like seriously, that is some crazy stuff going on right now. But yeah, this is something which is going to be very polarizing for the community going forward. But you know, is this something that is, you know, what happened here, Ray? How did we get to this point? Like,
I think they got overzealous coming off the heels of Hiss. Like I said, with G.I. Joe being such a dominant IP, and with the release of figures and vehicles and projects that people want. Now, again, I'm saying that under the atmosphere that Haslab knows what people want. They don't. They're creating and they're shooting in the dark every time they come out with a project. But at least with the Hiss tank, we knew that people wanted it. Galactus, we knew people wanted it. With the Fast and the Furious Ghost Rider car, people do not want that, and the numbers don't lie. So, again, I'm giving thumbs down to the Haslab. I'm giving thumbs up to Eternia, and that is the name of the game for this season.
You know what? This is the danger that's happening right now with Haslab. They didn't get their funding early on, and now it seems like it's backtracking a lot, and a lot of people are sort of, you know, in the lurch. There are so many videos out right now talking about how this is you know, the value for money is just not there, and specifically when they lost you know, Robbie Reyes, basically they said no, the value is just gone. The value is just completely gone now. It was questionable. It was questionable at first. Now the value is actually gone. So it appears to me like they're looking to replace that value with their tiers.
No.
But instead of being, you know, up forward, much like the G.I. Joe team, when they did the what's it called? When they did the Sky Striker, they went all out. They said straight up, it's like, all right, here's what you're gonna get. And they laid it bare. And even then, there was a perception of value which did not get it over the hump, or it appeared like it wasn't getting it over the hump. And then what did they do? They literally went balls to the wall and showed, like, you know what, we are committed to this. And they actually said, okay, here, this is what you're going to get now. Help us, right? And you know what? That really made the difference. In my opinion, right now, they desperately need to showcase every single one of their tiers, because at this stage, it's not looking good.
It's not. And you know, you missed your first stretch. Oh, that's a huge swing and a miss. You know, honestly, they need to add a bike. They need to add Robbie Reyes. They need to just give up Mephisto. They need to give up Goblin Queen in order to feel like, you know, they're going to get their value for $350. Because right now, people are looking at this and they're laughing. They're laughing all the way to the bank to deposit money to put back in their savings account.
This, you know, but that's the thing. People are budgeting now for another project, right?
Yeah.
And they really cannot divide those two priorities.
But hey, if this fails, then that means that Haslab really has to get it together, and the next project is going to be spectacular, because they don't want to see two projects tank, because this one is clearly going down.
Well, hold on. They've already had two projects tank. Not with this team, but with the Star Wars team, they already had the Rancor tank and the lightsaber tank. That's already two failed projects, and they completely want people to forget about Cookie Monster. He's not even on the site anymore. And if this
it's just
fails,
a bad dream.
I know, right? And if this fails, this will be the very first Haslab Marvel
Legends.
Right. So yes, a lot is riding on this project for them. Red Foreman, thank you so much for the $4.99 for the $5 super chat, my friend. You are awesome. I only have one question. Who's Robbie Reyes? Oh my god. Where's Danny? Passing on Eternia because I have no nostalgia and no space for it. The footprint on nostalgia, the footprint on Eternia is just massive, Ray.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Red Foreman, I know you're being a little bit sarcastic. Obviously, Robbie Reyes is the latest incarnation of the Ghost Rider. He had an episode in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I believe. So if you want to see who he is, definitely look that one up. And where's Danny Ketch? Unfortunately, Danny Ketch and even Johnny Blaze are nowhere to be found for this particular Haslab project. And a lot of people have been asking that exact same question. Where are the two Ghost Riders? This is actually something, because a lot of people are asking, why do we get a Ghost Driver when we actually want Ghost Riders? Very, very crazy. But Red, I totally understand why you're passing on Eternia. Man, 4 feet long and 3 feet deep. I think that's what they're saying. Holy crap! And that's not even talking about how high it is. This is a massive, massive playset.
Oh, it's huge.
You are literally going to have to dedicate a room to actually get that into the house. It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, this is something else. On that note, let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening with the backers themselves. Earlier today, as we mentioned, it was 5,386 backers just prior to the announcement. And then right now, if we hit refresh, and actually it was it was at about half an hour ago, it was 5,390. So now it sits at okay, it is going up slowly. It's now at 5,398. So it's gaining a few backers, but let's be perfectly honest, Ray. Let's be perfectly honest. If they were hoping for this to be a Hail Mary to actually pull them out of the fire, it's happening really, really slowly right now.
It's not going to happen. I'm calling it right now. I know I'm negative Nancy, and you guys are probably – I'm going to get a lot of smoke for this, and that's okay. But, again, the community doesn't want a project of Dom Toretto with this Fast and the Furious Charger. They just don't want it. Like, it's terrible, and we saw better results with the Bratz car.
Okay, Thomas, I'm not going to read that. People can read that on their own. But okay, I don't know if that's true or not. But you've been shouting that out a lot, and
that's an odd fact to throw out there.
I'm putting it on the screen just to get it out of the way, because Tom, you really want people to know that, and I get it. So I'm not going to read it, but there you are.
I don't see how the relevance of that kicks in.
Neither do I, but you know what, Thomas really wants people to know that fact. Which, you know what, I'm sorry. At the end of the, let's just put it out there, Ray. Sex sells, right?
Bam.
Sex.
Bam.
Let's just put it out there. If we're going to go ahead and say what everyone will, and what everyone's thinking, because everyone's thinking it, right? Sex sells. I mean. Marvel would not still be drawing this character the way they're going over and over and over and over again if there wasn't a reason for that. You know, like this is known, right? Sex sells, right? And you know what? We've seen time and time again where people have tried to, I guess, make it more palatable in a sense, right? I mean, Here is one iteration of Madeline Pryor, which I think if they had actually put this out there, I think people would just have gotten really upset and basically abandoned the project entirely. This is one iteration of Madeline Pryor, which honestly, take it or leave it. I mean,
it's terrible. I don't think anybody is going to go, oh, because Madeline's, outfit or whatever is going to save the project. I think that's being a little too nice about it. I just straight up think people are not seeing the value here. They're not responding. I don't care what you put out. You could be naked. I don't think it would matter. People do not want the project. And we're seeing that in poll results. We're seeing that in the cloud of comments through Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. It's just it's kind of beating a dead horse, and it's a little embarrassing when you see a company like Hasbro try to keep pushing on something that just isn't gonna. I have the worst outlook on this project. I don't like it. I don't want to see it. I want to see it go down like the Titanic and be done with.
There are a lot of people out there right now who are on the train. And you know what? For good or for bad, they have the concept that's saying, if we allow these projects to go forward, then it gives a signal. It gives a signal to these companies that they can charge us anything. And
Right.
there is some merit to that. There's actually some merit to that. We do have to be careful because as the as manufacturing gets more expensive, as products get scarcer and rarer, and shipping costs are going through the freaking roof. It's continuously getting more and more expensive to actually produce these figures, and it's reflecting in the price at the aisles. I mean, up here in Canada, a Marvel Legends figure at Toys R Us is $42.
Oh my God.
It's crazy. What's a figure? What's an average figure in Target right now? Right.
In California, we're looking anywhere between 17 to 23.
Yeah, but more than likely, it's getting up towards the $23 range, right?
Yeah.
For Marvel Legends.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can see the writing on the wall. Things are going to get worse before they get better. And to actually ask fans to pony up, $350 for something that they don't want. Because let's just be honest, it's obvious people are not looking to get this, right? There are some diehard Robbie Reyes fans out there, and I totally feel for you. I appreciate that. I love the fact that you're so into Robbie Reyes, but the reality is the majority doesn't seem to be on that same train. It seems that a lot of people are actually trying to get off, right? So
yeah,
that seems to be a major issue.
Yo, I'll tell you what. Right now, we'll do the Collecting Classics Lab. I'll include a Hot Wheels monster truck. I'll include a Jurassic Park T-Rex. I'll include a 12-inch Funko for $350. Shit, if you guys back it, I'll throw in a $1. Shit, I mean, I'll throw it against the wall and see what sticks. I mean, that's what they're doing. I mean, come on now. I mean, shit. If I get 10 backers right now, I'll include this sweet, generous luxury candle that you guys can smell. If you guys want, I'll even include a fridge magnet for you. So yeah, I'll get more backers than Haslab at this rate.
You know what? I wouldn't put it past you, to be perfectly honest. But your personality is what really sells it there. Your personality. Red Foreman, thank you for the $5 super chat. You're awesome, my friend. People are saying Eternia is the better deal than Haslab. Oh boy, here we go. Explain to me $600 for Eternia and $700 a month for the apartment to put it in. I hear you. Ray.
Well, $700 a month, sign me up, brother, because that ain't what's happening in California. Let me tell you.
Yeah, no, but I get it. I get it. It's what, and I've said this a million times. I've said this, and Ray, I've said, I've said this. I've said this a million times. You can't eat these. Yeah. You can't freaking put them on your back to keep you warm. You can't you can't what's it called? You can't use them to pay your rent. You just can't, right? So when it comes down to it, right? Red's right. Red is right. You have to make a choice. You have to choose what is within your means. Don't be putting yourself out for something that you cannot afford.
And I'm not even going to throw shade out there. I'm just going to call it what it is. There's a secondary market, folks, and you know it, because if you miss out, you're going to have to go there. And if you need to make rent, I know there's people out there that do toy flipping for a living. And it's kind of like, when you're talking about a box playset that's already $600 out the gate, like we're seeing with Snake Mountain, look up the current price of Snake Mountain right now. For instance, just an example, that was crowdfunded at $600. We're seeing the same price point with Eternia. Now Snake Mountain is anywhere between $1,300 to $1,700. So when you see a product like that $600, like Eternia, you have to think to yourself, well, I know when it hits the secondary market and it's crowdfunded and there's no more left, it's going to double. So if you were smart, it is a good investment. Any project is really, because for a fact, every product that hits the market doubles.
And this is the problem with the secondary market, right? They're okay. So as soon as Serpentor hit the market for sale, I'm not even sure they actually even got it in hand, and like they actually got the confirmation email. It was already on eBay for $200. Yeah. Like, what the F? Like, that's absolutely insane.
We saw that with Grizzlors. Grizzlors had the first day ordering, then the 2 days were made to order. This was not even in people's hands yet, and it was already on eBay, Mercari for like 100 plus. It's ridiculous.
Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and showcase what it means to have, what we're talking about with the secondary market. And we're not even, you know what? Let's go all the way back. We don't even have to go as far as the secondary market yet because there is none just now. But first of all, I want to thank Snellworth for the $2 super sticker. Thank you so much, Snell. You're awesome. I want my Haslab Night Raven instead of this. Ooh, yes. You know what? That is a very good choice. Wonderful. Thank you so much for that comment, Snell. But guys, check this out because I think this might help to drive home the point for Ray. It also allows for appreciation over time. Check this out. So guys, if you're worried that let's be perfectly honest, if you're worried that Eternia is too expensive when it hits the market in 1 week, try getting your hands.
Not a chance.
on a vintage version of Eternia. Complete set examples people are asking $4,000.
Holy cow!
Show version for a retro version, an original version of Eternia, and this is actually smaller than the Eternia that they're selling now. $4,000. Another play set. I'm not even sure if this is complete. I don't see the tracks, but it does have the box. All right, I don't see any tracks. Do you see any tracks in there? Right, no. I don't see any tracks. So let's just say, without knowing
trackless.
What we're looking at. Actually, I think these might be the tracks here, maybe. But anyway, let's call it a complete example. So another complete example with box, because I don't think this one has the box. This one has a box. Is asking, a much more reasonable $2,300 US. Holy crap!
At PowerCon, they had one in the box. At PowerCon, that was $8,000.
Forget that, Ray. Forget that. Check it out. I'm so excited, Ray. We can get the box. The box. We can get the box today for $1,500. What?
And that's amazing too, because if you look at the hype of the toy industry the last year and a half, 2 years, we're seeing a massive incline in value and price hikes. So yeah, if you think $600 is expensive, wait till the secondary market hits. You're going to be looking at $1,000 for a new Eternia. The price won't drop on the 80s because it's vintage.
Ray, what the hell? Would you pay? What the hell? $1,500 for this?
I'd pay $1,500 for that rusty box versus $350 for that Haslab project, and that's just real.
God, ooh, just like somebody save me! Holy crap! Oh my God!
Love that water. That water damage, baby.
You gotta check for some black mold, man. Holy crap! Where's this thing been?
Wow.
Oh mother. Oh,
that's pretty. God. That's pretty bad.
Oh Jesus!
Oh God!
Ooh,
that's terrible.
What am I buying here?
Oh my gosh!
Ray, what are we buying here?
That's pretty bad.
God. Oh my God! Wow! Ooh! Oh my God!
That's pretty bad.
Did they fish this out of the lake? Like what?
Did they cut it up and flatten it out? Hold up! What's going on here?
I think the glue fell apart, bro.
Holy cow! They flattened the whole box out.
I think the glue
Game
fell apart.
over. Game over.
$1,500 for this.
I'm sold.
Oh my God! Yeah, no, the glue fell apart. Brother,
here's the lessons for today, folks, and I'm not even gonna doubt it for 1 second. But this is the reality that we live in. Sex sells. Money talks. And when I say money talks, I'm saying like it takes money to make money, right? So as an investment piece, the new Eternia at $600 is an absolute steal. The Haslab Project at $350, they are trying to steal your money. That's the difference.
I think I'm gonna, as far as value for what you're getting,
it's not even close.
I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you. Like earlier today, Geek Dead Life, Jay and John over there, they had a similar discussion, and a lot of people were on the same train. They were like, you know what, you guys must work for some of the people in chat were like, oh, you guys must work for Mattel because you're giving it such glowing reviews for a $600 ask, right? But when you break it down, when you really break it down, and you look at what you're getting, think about it: $350 for a car, right? Which, I mean, it's not remote controlled. It has lights and sound, fine, granted, right? It's a nice looking car. I'm not gonna lie, it really is. It doesn't like, it's got lights, but does it make sound? I'm not sure. They said it would make sound. I think it will, but it's not remote controlled, and really, it's not even paying for a license for a Dodge Charger. You know what I mean? It is just a generic car design that somebody came up with, right? Versus I should actually just bring this.
And this goes to, I know where you're going with this, and this goes to what you were saying with the price of plastics, with the price of things going up, shipping, manufacturing. Look at what you're getting. You're getting a car that should be on fire in the dumpsters somewhere for $350 versus an actual playset that's molded with multiple different sections just for $200, $300 more, and the value is going to, look at that thing. Are you kidding me? It's not even in the same arena, you know.
It's got a motorized tram, right?
Yeah.
It's got a puppeteering snake, right? Because that's what that is. You can actually move the snake and puppeteer it around. It's got it's
got an armory with weapons.
Yeah, it's got articulating hands for the front of the playset. The molding alone on this, right? The kind of like this alone, like, you know how big the molds are going to be for this thing?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The and dying are just freaking ridiculous. Look at all the paint. Like, this is molded in the color, but there's a lot of deco on here. Look at that. Like, it's got green, it's got shades of purple, it's got it's all over.
The color's outrageous.
It's just nuts, right?
And we live in such a world of immediate now, where you have to look at this thing and go, okay, projection 5 years. What's this thing look like price wise?
Yeah,
you'd wish you got in at $600.
Yeah, if you're collecting for value, or as you said, you missed it, right, and you must have it. Yeah, you're definitely going to be paying the piper. Come 5 years from now, 100%. But you know what? If you back it early, you also get King Grayskull. So unfortunately. And you know what? I understand where people are going to go with this. They're going to say, "Oh my God, you're comparing $350 to $650, right?" Because
absolutely.
The package that's being offered as a base product, and you know what? Let's just come out and say it. Ray, there's nothing else to say. The base product, if you really just put the base product down, which is, you know what? A lot of people say this. You should only be backing the base product, right? That should be like the stretch goals. Those are just bonuses, right?
Yeah.
So what you're supposed to back is the base product. So if you back the base product, what are you paying $350 for? You're paying for a car, right? Which Mattel made at retail, and true enough, they did at retail for $120 with lights, sound, and remote control, right? And it actually fits 7-inch figures, right? Mattel made that like 2 years ago, apparently, something like that. Right, 2 years, not 10 years ago, not 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Not back in the 80s. This was like 2 or 3 years ago. Actually, I'll be more generous. I think it was 5 years ago. Okay, inflation doesn't work that way, right? And then, it also comes with flame effects. It comes with Robbie Reyes, right? It just doesn't equate.
No.
At most.
And here's one thing I totally forgot. About this. But McFarlane just released the Batman with that monster truck buggy thing for $50. Man, McFarlane made Haslab look stupid with that one.
The Batmobile Beast, I know.
That's outrageous.
That thing is massive, eh? Like that thing is massive. Like it's the Turtle Van size, you know.
It's amazing for the price. Wow, it's incredible. I could say so for $350, I can get a Fast and the Furious car that's on fire with a goofy ass looking Ghost Rider and some lame stretches that are never going to make it. Or I could spend $50, get a Batmobile with a Bat Beast, save $300, call it a day. Even for Marvel fans, I feel really bad because I know they want these figures. I know that these figures are awesome. They're much desired, sorely sought after, and they're going to fill a hole. But Haslab has the opportunity and the means to make these single carded figures or exclusives in other capacities. So for them not to do so, I think is a foolish move. And with today's climate in the toy market, they have a lot to compete against, and there's a lot of people asking for your money. So in that regard, I don't think they're doing the right. This isn't the right buy. This isn't the right move for Haslab, and this isn't the right time, especially in the holiday seasons. You're going to ask people to cough up $350 before the holiday season. It's pretty rough.
It is. It is. You know, and I've been getting that sentiment quite often, to be perfectly honest with you. LF4 says, if this was Johnny Blaze and his bike for $250, I'd still say no. This Haslab is outrageously overpriced. Yes, my assertion, Ray, is that it should have been Johnny Blaze. It should have been what's the name of the second guy? I can't remember his name anymore. Ketch. It should have been Ketch, Johnny Blaze, Ketch, and it should have had a horse with a flaming horse with a rider on it.
A horse, yeah.
It should have been freaking 3 Ghost Riders. Right, 50 years of Ghost Riders. It should have been those 3, and you know what? Throw in Robbie Reyes as a stretch goal. Like that's actually the way it should have been. You know what I mean? That's my assertion. And you know what? LF4 seems to agree with a lot of people. That's not just me saying it. That is a ton of people all over the place. Neo Geo 45 says, "I'm offended. You guys assume that it is a she, he, a she, her. It could be a he, him too." I'm going to assume that's sarcasm because Neo Geo, that's an interesting thing to say for Madeline Pryor, knowing for a fact that she is and has always identified. She gave, you know, she's the mother, but spoiler alert, she's the mother of Cable. So you know there is that. Ruckus says, well, how do you figure the majority of fans are male? If anything, it's a thirsty bunch with clamor. A little bit of a retort to Neo Geo there, but I think Neo Geo was just jesting there. Yeah, we're, you know, a lot of people are of the same boat right now. Christopher Vose says, if they included both Danny Ketch and Johnny Blaze motorcycle, this would be an instant buy for me. You know what? Even then, I would for $350, I would still be a little bit. You know,
at $250, it would have worked.
It would still hurt me a little bit. I might do it if the stretch goals were good enough with 2 riders. But you throw in a horse in there, that would be an instant buy 100%. Like that would be where I would be. What's it called? Renegade Biker, Snell's World. I think that the Night Raven could be made in 3D form and tried out in Blender. You know, that's an interesting idea. Just people have done it. I'm not going to say no. Right, Ken. I agree, Jay. We should fight back with our buying power. You know what? I'm not necessarily like. Here's the thing. I'm not raising my pitchfork. I'm not trying to tell everybody, no, do not back this. No, this is not right. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to say exactly what Mad Hatter said because I agree with him and I agree with that sentiment. If you see value in this project, back it. Okay, you should not. You should not. Ray, what are you doing? I'm hearing a squishy noise. What a squishy noise. What are you doing?
No, I'm listening. If you like the value of the project, back it.
All right, cool. So basically, I'm saying that if you see value in the project, you buy it. You buy that product. It doesn't matter if you think the car is, you know, if everybody else thinks the car is way overpriced. It doesn't matter if everyone else thinks Robbie Reyes is not the right Ghost Rider. If you see value in the project, regardless of how many tiers there are, regardless of whatever comes next, if you see value in it, go for it. You're not wrong. It's your money. You can do whatever the hell you want with it, right? Like people are saying, you know what, that 4 set He-Man is crazy, but there are people out there who bought it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like seriously, it's something that is an eye of beholder. Value doesn't equate. If you buy for value, this might be worth it because you know what? By the time this ends, and I'm gonna go out on a limb here because Ray's already put his choice in the hat. I'm gonna say this is gonna get backed. I am gonna say it's gonna get backed. FOMO is gonna get hard the very last week. FOMO is gonna get hard the very last week, and people are gonna go for that Madeline Pryor. Okay, and they're probably even gonna try and get Mephisto. All right, now. it looks like Haslab is Reyes shaking his head. Reyes shaking his head. I totally get where Reyes coming from. I totally get where Reyes coming from. But you know what? Let me put my point down here. Just because Reyes already put down his choice. He's already said it's not going to happen, right? Well, here's the way I think it's going to happen. Okay, just Ray, hear me out. All right, they've already put up Madeline Pryor, right, as she is, 10,000 backers, right? They've already dedicated 12,000 backers to Mephisto. Okay, if they're smart, and they got to be fucking smart about this, next week they will unveil all of the freaking tiers, right? Show us the best freaking demons that you can throw at us, because honestly, that's the only way you're going to get this thing back on track.
What a desperation move, though.
But that's the point. You are already showing that you are freaking desperate, right? You are already showing that you are freaking desperate. This showcases that there's already sweat on the brow, and you know what? The higher ups are like, this is an embarrassment. Do something, right? And this is why. Because literally a week ago, no, not even like 4 days ago, right? 4 days ago, right? One of the marketing managers went on record and said, we're not going to show you guys any more tiers, right? 4 days ago, that's what he said. We are not going to give. Actually, it got worse. Sorry, it got worse. It said we are. I'm going to put my face on here. 4 days ago. Okay, maybe it's 5 days ago. But anyway, last week, Friday, with the marketing manager, one of the marketing managers, once the goal did not get met, he went on record to say, no, we are not going to bring back the bonus. Guys are not going to get it. Okay, and we are not going to release any more tiers. You guys aren't going to see any more. Literally by Sunday, we got the Robbie Reyes head back, right? Literally. Why? Because they were losing backers like it was going.
Yeah, they had to stop the bleeding.
They lost 300 backers in 2 days. It was ridiculous.
They had to stop the bleeding immediately.
It was a jugular hit. Like it was like, yeah. It was going out. It was going out everywhere. Okay, that was number one. All right, and now today. They just completely blew it out of the water. It's like, no, all cards on the table, man. Like, this is it. Like, yeah, we weren't going to show you any tiers, but you know what? Here's Madeline Pryor. And you know what? It got even worse. They said 10,000 backers, not 14,000 backers. They're at the point where they're throwing their hands up right now. They're like, we got to, like, upper management, like, you got to fix this now.
Yeah. And like, they're losing their cool. They're losing the confidence aspect. They're losing the allure of like, man, you really want this product because it's so cool. You want to come down and give us a 350 because you're going to get what you want out of it. That's not happening. They're like, hey, we're not going to give you this because such and such, but now we have to because we got to stop that, hemorrhaging. And it's just really telling to see them go back and forth. And, again, as a consumer, I don't like ultimatums. And I don't like seeing a project that's that expensive without knowing what else I'm getting. So,
Sloop John B says, "What is your opinion on figure flipping and its effect on price hikes? Does it help or is it negligible?" I'm gonna let you take that one.
Hey, I think figure flipping is the new business. I think it's the way to go. It's how you put a down payment on your house. You go to all the stores, you pick up everything, and you sell it for double, triple on the secondary market. If you guys want to pay more for figures, you come up, hit up me, Flipper Frank. He's out there. He's over here. Yo, raising Reyes. Yo, we're raising prices every day. So if you guys want to overpay for stuff, you let me know. I'll take care of you.
Raising Reyes. You know what? That's awesome. You and Flipper Frank gotta.
It does exist though. That climate is a very real thing, and that does exist. But when something like this is 350 and you're flipping figs on a secondary market, how much meat is left on the bone? You have to ask yourself. If that's what the intention is here as the consumer to buy and turn around for a profit, how much is there left on the bone at 350 with such meek trimmings that they're giving us here?
It's crazy. It's crazy. And you know what, Sloop, just to answer your question, Ray's done a great job on that. I do believe, and here's the thing. Here's the thing about the secondary market. It's up and it's down. There are figures out there that at one point were selling for $200, like the and this, then you know what, good point, really good point here. So the what's it called? The 2-pack of Cyclops and Phoenix, Dark Phoenix, it's expected to drop as soon as the Dark Phoenix retro card is released. But right now, it is at an all-time high. Why? Because people are trying to get rid of it as fast as they possibly can, and they want top dollar for it. So so expect to see that in the $150, $200 range for 2 figures. It's gonna spike, right? It's gonna come down eventually, because as the date for the release of that figure comes closer and closer, it's gonna drop dramatically. So people are trying to get rid of it right now, and that's the nature of selling for profit, right? If you hold on to things long enough and they actually appreciate in value, yeah, you can actually run off in the thief of the night and make it happen. A really good example too is if figures actually start getting their own TV shows. Moon Knight's figure at one point shot through the freaking roof.
Yeah.
For the original Marvel Legends figure that was released a number of years ago. It was ridiculously overpriced. It was like $100 at one point. It was like nuts, right? But as soon as the series came out, it started to normalize, right? Because the other figures came out to replace it. So again, it's one of these things. It's a real volatile market out there, and it does happen.
And with Marvel putting out as much figures as they do put out, you're bound to see the depreciation of such a product as this, because they know that, well, if this sold, we have the tooling. Now we can release these as individual figures with different molding, different paint apps, different whatever, and they'll sell, and the originals will go down in value as well. I see that happening a lot with all kinds of figures across the board. Yeah, you're right. If you can make that profit early, if you can make that profit over time and run away like a thief in the night, hey, kudos to you. But there are some projects that don't hold as much weight as they once did, and that's because newer, hotter stuff goes out. There's a cooling trend that has to happen as well, and once that sets, it's really hard to see a product kind of shoot back up.
Exactly. Gwildor says, I'd actually love a reproduction box just to display. Jesus Christ. I love you, Gwildor. Gwildor, I love you, man. You always have these wonderful zingers that come out of nowhere. I'll make you a reproduction box, no problem, Gwildor. And you only have to pay $700 for it. Don't worry about it.
At price.
Matthew Virula says, I got a serious question. If Robbie Reyes doesn't get back, are we going to ever see him again? Also, Mephisto. Honestly, Matthew, the answer is yes. Yeah. The fact that they've actually put production time into it, the fact that they've actually paid somebody to make the figures themselves, I easily foresee Robbie Reyes as a figure which will come out probably in the next 2 years. And I have proof of that. So, guys, does anybody remember the Rancor Haslab project? Well, in that project, one of the stretch goals was a brand new, fully tooled, from the ground up figure of Luke Skywalker. And guess what's getting released later this year? That exact same freaking figure is actually making its way as a single carded, a single box figure, and it's going to be here probably in the next quarter. So, Matthew, do not worry about that. Robbie Reyes will be coming to the Marvel Legends, and I really do expect that the Goblin Queen and Mephisto are probably in the works for something else. I don't know if it's going to happen with this project, but I fully expect that we will be seeing more of these figures in the near future. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts, Ray?
Absolutely, because there's a demand for it from the fan base. And there's characters out there they just strictly cannot ignore. And when you see more popularity happen due to show appearances, movie appearances, you're going to see that demand and people up in arms like, hey, who's going to give it to us? And whoever gives it to them first, I think that's where the money's going to go. So if they have the option to, get the tooling and the molding and everything's done, and they're already putting out screenshots of a potential figure as an offer for a stretch goal, that stretch goal doesn't get met. The projections for that figure to come out on a single card or in i.e. another project is a lot higher now that one has failed. They now have something to sit back on and say, well, the resounding response for this figure and this figure was high, although the project didn't seem to do well. These figures did well, so they're going to try to rebrand and remarket those to fit a project or a single card that makes sense for the company and for everybody to get their hands on.
Absolutely, and the money's been spent, right? They need to make that money back.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. Fairby1 says, "Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, Fairby. I really appreciate it. You're the best, my friend." He goes on to say they wouldn't bring in Johnny Blaze because they already dropped him as a retro card before the Haslab. At the very least, it would be just his motorcycle. I don't think that was Johnny Blaze. Wasn't that Danny Ketch, the retro carded figure? Somebody help me here. Was that Johnny Blaze or Danny Ketch? Hold on, let's just do a really quick check here. Hold on.
It would have made sense for them to release Johnny Blaze first, so it might have been
Ghost Rider retro card.
But hey, if this Goblin Queen doesn't make it, at least we know that they'll give us the head sculpt for it.
I think it's Johnny Ketch. I don't think this is Johnny Blaze. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Maybe you're right. Let's hold on for a second here. Let me just bring this up.
If they include Johnny Cash, I'll buy this freaking project. I'll tell you that.
Okay, hold on. Here we go. This is the
Johnny Cash, the man dressed in black.
Absolutely.
I think that would sell out this project.
I hurt myself today. All right, so this is Ghost Rider. Also comes with plan facts. Okay, hold on. No, it is Johnny Blaze. Yeah. No. Wow. Okay. I don't know why, but I thought his attire was more of. Yeah. I guess I was wrong. Yeah. Apparently. So this is Johnny Blaze then.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Okay. Cool. All right, cool.
He would have made the natural sense to release him, but since this one was first, I think they're holding back because he already had a release. But this would have been my first pick.
You know what? You know why I'm getting confused? He doesn't have his blue suit, and it's not a onesie. It's actually that's why it's throwing me off so much.
Yeah,
he looks more like Danny Ketch. Anyway, whatever. This is Johnny Blaze apparently, and as he said, I think a lot of people were expecting this to be. When I first saw this announced, I said, "Oh, that's the Haslab," and no, he was.
Oh, it would have done so much better.
Yeah. I think that's it's pretty crazy how.
If you would have swapped this figure with the Robbie Reyes and then you offered Goblin Queen, I guarantee you we'd be closer to the Mephisto stretch than where we are now. That would have been a dynamite move. I tell you what, if they would have released and just swapped those two figures, you would see a drastic difference in interest.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. I think you're absolutely right. I really do believe that Johnny Blaze and Danny Ketch would have been, as a twofer, and priced it at $250.
Yeah,
I think both those riders at $250. I think we would have been done by now.
Yeah, because then you would have met the stretch for Goblin Queen.
Yep.
And then that would have launched them clear into Mephisto territory, which would have launched them clear into God knows what.
Absolutely.
But just like they did with the Mojo 4-pack, we saw Mojo released separately. They need to take advantage of what they have to offer and say, hey, if this doesn't work, here's option B.
I got you. And you know what? That exactly. They should have had a fallback position, right? They should have had something else to and it looks like they're trying that fallback position now, but I think people are not buying it. I think that as much as everybody wants the Goblin Queen, I think it's the wrong market. I think that they're missing the mark here. But you never know. We still have 20 days left. I mean, it's crazy. Rufus Rogers says Eternia is huge. I get that, but it's going to be the same cheap ass plastic Grayskull is. Justifying $600 just because scalpers will double it doesn't work for me.
Hold on, Jay. Hold on, Jay. Let's look at the plastics difference here, okay? In 1980s, Grayskull plastic is virtually falling apart nowadays. All the clamps and hooks and bells and whistles and floors and ladders, they're all broken, missing, all but gone. The new Grayskull is updated plastics, updated accessories, updated everything. So if new Eternia is going to be anything close to what the new Grayskull is, I think it's going to do really well because the plastic upgrade is a huge, huge difference. If it's 80s plastic, I have to agree. Yeah, the Eternia will fall apart. The tracking falls apart. We're seeing pieces break. But with the new molded plastics and superior molding that they have on this project, I think we're going to see the best Eternia. It's going to last another 40 years. And come talk to me in 40 years and see how this plastic holds up. You know?
Well, you know what? I think Rufus does have a point, and as in so much as scalping. Okay, in so much as scalping. What I'll say, and Rufus has a follow-up question, so I'm gonna come back to that. But Red Foreman says we haven't gotten Danny since Toy Biz, so don't think Hasbro won't hold out on a wanted character. Oh, they're definitely gonna hold out. But because this is the 50th anniversary, they have another 3 months to actually bring out additional retro cards. I have a funny feeling that the retro versions of Ghost Rider will continue throughout the rest of the year, possibly even bleeding in to 2023. Thank you so much again for the super chat, Red Foreman. You're amazing. Rufus's follow-up is, and thank you again, Rufus, for the $5 super chat, my friend. You were amazing. I have wanted Eternia since I've seen it in the Sears catalog. 35 years later, I'm a single father of 3. I still cannot justify $600, and that sucks. No, Rufus, we totally get you. We totally get you. Again, as I said earlier in the stream, you gotta pick your priorities. You have to pick your priorities. And you know what? Feeding your kids, putting clothes on the back, putting a house, to protect them in. As I've said multiple times, you can't eat these things. You can't put them on the back to make you warmer. You can't, use them for bartering. And well, sometimes you can. But anyway, you can only do so much with toys to actually get you.
But you can flip them for double on the secondary market. Come on down to Racing Rays. We got your price hikes. Come on down. We'll take care of you.
Rufus, I totally agree with you in terms of flippers and resellers. That is not the way to gauge how to justify $600. Right. That's not what we're talking about. We were never talking about that. What we were saying was that in terms of if you miss the opportunity to buy this, it will only get worse if you actually have that inkling later on, and you know what, you're feeling the nostalgia bug. And just like we showed on the eBay listing earlier, these do raise in value, right? So if you ever get that need or that want to actually pick one up, it's going to be tougher later on, even as close as a year later, because once they hit the market, they literally shoot up in price. Oh yeah. Right? So if it's within your means, if it's something that you really want and love and must have, go for it. But if it's not something you can afford, if it's not something you can justify, pass on. You know what I mean? Like it's something that needs to be a choice. It's your choice. Yeah. And you know what? You are not wrong. If you want it, you love it, you have to have it, and you buy it, you're not wrong, right? These are the choices we as adults have to make. That's basic. That's the impetus of what's happening today. Like seriously, we're old enough to know just how much trouble we can get into.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And not only that, but this is geared towards a collector's market and a collector's atmosphere. So these are going to collectors, meaning that you have to come to terms with your own mortality in these kind of situations as well and be like, okay, I can't take it with me, right? I can't take none of this stuff with me. So what am I willing to get rid of to meet that mark and to be able to get one for the collection or whatever it is?
Yeah, it's we've been circling around this whole idea. It really, at the end of the day, has to entice you and incentivize you so much on the base offering, right? Yeah. I mean, that's what the His Tank did. just on the base offering, people were like, "Holy crap, I'm backing this thing," and that's what happened.
Absolutely.
Right? People went absolutely nuts, and when they threw in the extra driver, people were like, "Holy crap, we're doing it now! We're doing it now!" Right? And then you know what? The second tier, it started to flatline because people were like, "What the hell is this?" The third tier literally flatlined. Like people were like, "What the hell?" There were no backer, there were no retractions.
Yeah.
But people were literally like, "You're gonna give me a canopy? Seriously?" Right? And then you know what? The G.I. Joe team, for everything that they've done, right or wrong, they know how to save a campaign because they pivoted fast.
Especially, and they had the IP to do it, because when's the last time we saw a his take hit the market? When's the last time we've seen Eternia hit the market? At 35 to 40 years on each of those spectrums. When's the last time we saw a Ghost Rider figure? Last year. When's the last time we saw Fast and the Furious? Last year. When's the last time we saw Witchblade outfit? A few years ago, McFarlane. So there's not really as much allure when putting this in comparison to Hiss or Eternia, because those have had decades to build up steam, where Ghost Rider's not building that much steam, in comparison. So
exactly. That's a very good point. All right, so the Stug 138 says it's going up to 5,402 backers. If that's the present, it's really going super slow. About 45 minutes ago, it was 5,398 backers. If we hit refresh right now, it's at 5,404. So it is crawling. I mean, it's gonna rise. It is gonna rise, but this is incredibly slow. And let's just put it out there. This is let's not candy coat this anymore. This is their Hail Mary. They already put all their cards on the table, right? They've made mention after the campaign that Robbie Reyes, the human form, would not be put back on the table. He was put back on the table 2 days later.
Yeah.
Not the full figure, but his head.
Yeah, so just the head. What is that?
In effect, they gave up. They gave that up, right? In effect, they gave that up, right? They also said on the same day that no new tiers would be revealed. Look what happened today.
They submitted to that one too.
They've totally bent the knee. They've totally bent the knee, and it's not in defeat. I'm not trying to say that. I'm not trying to say that they're having a defeatist attitude. No, they are doing whatever they can to save this campaign. And you know what? Good on them. But you got to go right now at this stage. If this is where you're at, just go for broke. Just go for broke. Showcase all the freaking tiers, because right now this one is not catching fire like you thought it was. Mm-hmm. This one is a little smolder right now. It's not going anywhere. It's literally tiny little trickles, right? By the end of the day, if this hasn't doubled, the backers, if this hasn't at least gotten another 200 backers, in my opinion, if this hasn't reached an additional 200 backers by the end of the day, because right now it's not going that fast.
Oh,
right?
Man.
At the end of the day, if it doesn't reach another 200 backers, let's go ahead and say 606, right? 5606.
What are they going to do?
I'm just saying, if it hasn't reached 5606 by the end of the day, I'm not talking 24 hours. I'm talking about midnight. Okay, if this hasn't reached 606 by midnight, they've got to sit back at that table and figure out what else to do, because this is a huge Hail Mary, right? You've already capitulated twice. You've already gone back on what you were saying twice, right? This is now the point where you have to say, no, we got to put them all out there.
Just give them Mephisto for free, then.
You know, if that's what has to be done, that's what has to be done, right?
Yeah, it'll back if they give it up. But right now, the numbers are just not there. You know what it's like? It's like watching the horse sink in the quicksand in Neverending Story.
No.
It's like seeing a slow, painful death that you can't stop watching, and it just rips your heart out. I'm not even a Marvel guy, and this hurts. I can't even imagine what it feels like for the people that are backing it, that want the success.
You just hurt me inside, Ray.
No, I just went there. I did. I
just
know.
hurt me inside, bro. You just hurt me inside. You just hurt me inside. You plucked that freaking
Oh, did I strike a chord there, eh?
Oh man, just oh my God,
But that's what it's like watching, because you're right. If it doesn't reach a certain MMO, minimum order requirement, by midnight, they're going to have to seriously reconsider what the hell they're doing over there at Haslab, because right now, let me tell you, it is not working.
Yeah, you know what? I have to.
You could give me at this point. You could give me a naked Goblin Queen. I don't think it's going to save the project. Let's just put it out there. Alternate bikini tops. It's not going to save the project here.
I'm still thinking about Artax, man. Fuck. Yeah.
R.I.P. Artax, yo.
I'm still thinking about Artax. Like I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna play. Dallas James, thank you so much for the super sticker, brother. You're amazing. Hasbro is folding in real time. Ouch.
I agree 100%.
That's one for thing. Oh, look who's here. Ramen Toy. If Mattel needs 5,000 for Eternia, Hasbro can do 5,000 for Engine of Vengeance, in my humble opinion. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you know what? I hear you, but that's not what the numbers are saying right now, Ramen.
It's way overzealous. Yeah, absolutely.
Not what the numbers are saying. The numbers are going are actually they're going the right direction now. They're finally heading back in the right direction, but
the pace is questionable.
It is a slow crawl. The velocity is not there. The velocity is just nowhere near where it needs to be. Nolan is in the house. Good to see you, Nolan. Thanks for
What's up, Nolan?
Stalesy, the Comic-Con is the Coon coin is in question. Ooh, oh shoot! I can't believe I just said that. All right, I'm not going to say that again. Holy crap! Jordan from Canada has given the smiles. I can't believe I said that. Toys suck. They told you. You know what? Toys suck. Not just yet. They haven't just yet. Easy there. Easy. Breathe. New monkey. The prude censored her. Well, this is what it is, unfortunately. One honor. I like the wordplay, not catching fire. Well, there you go, my friend. It wasn't really wordplay. I was actually being honest. Hellfire. La la la. You all right? Maybe a little. Maybe just a little. Ran the Gemini. Gemini. I think that's Gemini. Ran the Gemini. All these figures that are tiers will be made later down the line. Best example is when White Electra, that was supposed to be a fan channel option 3 years ago, did not get voted in, was actually released this year. All these figures will get made. You know what, Rand? You've got a very, very good point. Red Foreman again. Again, thank you so much, Red, for the $5 super chat. How many of the 500 canceled Haslab orders were from the dudes ordering 5 to unlock the early bird? That is actually a really good question, Red. You know what? Maybe that's actually what did happen. I mean, it's possible. It is possible. There's also the theory that there was some fudging going around here and there just to pad the numbers a little bit, but. We're not going to run into that speculation today. That's it's pretty obvious. This is the moment where Hasbro, the Marvel Haslab team, really has to decide what they're doing, because it's getting really, really scary right now. It is, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I believe that they have to go for broke right now. They have to show the rest of the tiers. Ray, if there are any green tiers out there, guys, I'm going to put this question to you too. If there are any green tiers out there right now, who or what could save this Haslab project? Ray, go.
A bike.
A bike, right? Whose bike?
If they really, or a horse. If they release the it's all speculative, but if they could do a bike or a horse, that would save the project. I don't really care whose it is. They need something to dig themselves out of this hole, because right now, it's not looking good. I don't even care. I don't even care.
It is tough at the end of the day. I don't think there's anything they can release, to be honest. I think Blackheart. I think Blackheart would definitely be because again, we need to stick to. Let's. What are we doing? We need to stick like this. This is a mistake. This is a mistake. We need to stick to the Ghost Rider characters. We're backing Ghost Rider. You're not going to attract guys. Let's be perfect. Okay, seriously.
You're right. Absolutely.
You're not going to attract. No matter how hard you try, you're not going to attract X-Men fans to back this project because they're not backing a Sentinel. They're not backing Professor X. As Onslaught. They're not backing the Juggernaut in his final form. You know what I mean? They're not doing any of that, right? What you're backing here is Robbie Reyes and his car. So putting in an X-Men figure right now is not going to help you, right? As much as you want this to boost your numbers, it's not. It's not going to happen. She's in the wrong playing field. She's not the right one. You need Blackheart, okay? You need Blackheart. You need just any number of different demons, right? Stick to and not even demons, just whatever it is associated with Robbie Reyes, right? Like that's what you really need. You really need to concentrate on right at this second. Evil Stick says Xanathros. There you go. There's a really cool one, right?
You could put Blackheart and Mephisto riding a flaming horse, and it wouldn't sell this project. I'm just going to put it out there.
That's probably true. That is probably true. Toy Sock says the 3 classic Ghost Riders, of course. Carter Slade, Johnny Blaze, and Danny Ketch. Yes, of course. This is what we've all been saying, that they need to get those 3 out there somehow. Dialogue 3 says 2 bikes. Ooh.
2 bikes.
Yeah.
A flaming unicycle wouldn't sell this thing.
Well, think about it. You know what? They've already released Johnny Blaze as a classic card. Give us his bike. Right?
Yeah.
Because then you have something to accompany that. And then basically you're creating a play set right together. And then you what? Put out the second bike because Danny Ketch is coming next. You know it, right? So
would they though? Do you think that's even an option for them to do so?
That's the problem, right? They're at this point where they really need a win. Derek Tadeo says, I say Danny Ketch and his motorcycle. Well, there you go.
Yeah, a figure and a bike, yeah.
Hal Juster says the $300 coupon if I buy if we get 2,000 backers. Hilarious, Hal Juster. Too funny, my friend. Marco Jimenez. Blackheart is a literal Schwinn bike.
Blackheart and a little Schwinn bike, huh?
Oh my gosh, Bethany Beth, Batman's bike. Ooh,
a licensed Schwinn bike.
Oh my gosh. Stalesy says bike and a horse. Yes. Rand the Gemini says Xanathros needs a standard retro release. Well, hopefully we'll get something. David Beltran, how much you think how much you all think Madeline Pryor would go in the aftermarket? Quite a bit.
$100. Say $100.
Quite a bit.
Be nice about it. Say $100, right?
Yeah, quite a bit. I totally.
But still, there's not enough meat left on that initial purchase to even profit and make even anything back off of that.
Yep. Jose Hernandez agrees with you. $100. New Monkey can't turn a steering wheel without butterfly joints. Hasbro design team, are you dumb? Ooh, shots fired. Yeah, that is kind of true. Matthew Virula, Blackheart with the throne. Ooh. Yeah, well, you know what? That's, I think, a missed opportunity. The throne needs to be in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
If you had this project starting with Blackheart on the throne and then all these extra figures after, that would have been great too.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right there. The Mars bars, Goblin Queen helps for X-Men fans. I know, but it's not going to bring them over because the main tier, which you're actually spending the $350 for, is not X-Men related. That's my whole point, Mars bars. Like, seriously, would you pay $350 just to get Madeline Pryor?
And the Fast and the Furious car?
Like, seriously. Like, I really doubt that. Because what are you going to do with this car and Robbie Reyes?
You're going to put the car with your Fast and the Furious shit, and then you're going to look at this Madelyne figure and say, I paid $350 for this when I could have waited a couple years for her to come out in an initial single card release. This is ridiculous.
Or you're going to sit on that car for 2 years and then sell it, hopefully at a profit, right?
You're going to street race it.
Yeah,
that's what you're going to do.
Crazy. Nolan, I throw in a Mel Gibson and Mad Max. I'll back it.
There you go.
Oh, Fairby1, thank you again for the super chat, my friend. I really appreciate it. P.S. I don't know if this was mentioned, but the page of Haslab Campaign has not been even updated to show the proper items. No, but that happens often. Whichever team is actually doing it, I believe it's their Shopify team. It takes them like 3 or 4 days to actually get the pro. It's just so wrong. It's just so wrong. It took forever to get the Mephisto even up there. It was just ridiculous. Ironside, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Super sticker, my friend. Nick Cage, Ghost Rider. Just kidding. You know what? No, a lot of people seem to really want that Ghost Rider. So you're probably not wrong, Ironside. You're probably not wrong. Carter Slade with his horse and gun. Yeah, all the regulars keep bubbling back up to the surface. It's freaking crazy. Toys suck. Last desperate tier would be Dominic Toretto.
Yeah, dude, I'm in. I'm all in.
Because I got family.
Yeah, definitely.
It's about family.
About family.
Just crazy. Snoop John B. I don't understand why there can't be a conversation with Hasbro about this. Why don't they just ask by putting out a poll what they want? Well, that's actually what the fan vote is for, right? These days it should be hard to shift. You know what? It's been proven time again. Not just Hasbro, but multiple companies have made the same mistake over and over again by not listening to the fans. Yeah. They know better, right? They know better. One Pouch Man, a 9-inch tall Blackheart. That is a hard ask, bro. You're literally asking for Serta. Oh my God, Serta is. Whew, that's crazy. The Mars Bars. Eva Mendes as a tier. Back to the Fast and Furious. Everyone's going for FF now. Matthew Virula. Watch the show. Robbie Reyes' little brother. Yeah, Robbie Reyes' little brother and his wheelchair. I think that would be cool. That would be a wonderful bone. You know what? Put him as the bonus and just give him to us.
I feel like this Haslab is turning into a loot crate where like we're gonna see like a T-shirt and a sticker pack, and they're gonna just try to throw everything in this that they can, because anything that I've heard of thus far still doesn't sound appetizing at all. I just think this product is gonna miss, and we're better off seeing a lot of these figures that have been spoiled as stretch goals that'll never be met as single card releases, and they'll do a lot better.
Here's a really good point that Michael G is making, and check this out, Ray. I just backed a his tank. I pre-ordered Boba Fett's throne earlier. I have approximately $800 in pre-orders. I just can't do it. Oh my God. And this is true. Why are these Haslabs coming so close back to back to back? And of course, these Hasbro Pulse exclusives, which are plus $250, $200. What is going on, Ray? Like, what's happening out there?
It's overzealous to say it lightly. It's a reach, and I think it's a like I said, knowing Hasbro and knowing how they work the WotC train and the Magic the Gathering card franchise and what they've done and changed it since its conception. I'm not seeing any lack of greed from their corner, especially now. And they're asking this price, but they're not giving me enough on the table to have me say, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a really hard, like that one guy said before, he says, hey, I got 3 kids. I can't justify $600 a month. Some people can't justify $350 a month. Some people can't justify $50. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let alone $350. So looking at that spectrum and then saying, okay, what do you have to offer to take that money from me willingly? I'll give it to you to back this project. I'm just not seeing enough on the table from Haslab when they absolutely have the means to do so. That's the frustrating part.
Absolutely. And you know what? Again, if it comes down to whether you're going to eat tonight or whether you're going to have a toy, the choice is pretty obvious. Although sometimes some people don't think that way. Red Foreman says, thank you for the $4.99 super chat, my friend. You're awesome. Oh my God, what incredible. Do the Sheer Imperial Guard 6 through 9 in one go as a Haslab. you know what? There's a dream project, absolutely 100%. Like I'm definitely on board with that, 100%. The Ruckus says his dream team: Blackheart, Blackout, Xanathros, Vengeance, and Lilith. Wow! If they release even 2 or 3 of those figures as stretch goals, I think they might have a run at it. Seriously, I really do. But will they do it? Will they show us the rest of the tiers? You know what? As time ticks away and it just trickles, I think that we're definitely going to see another stretch tier coming fast and furious, and then even more and more on top of that. It's
at least in a couple days, right? At least because we're going to see how, they're going to take time to see how the community responds to this move, and then they're going to realize quickly, okay, through the numbers, we're not making this happen. So we're gonna either see a desperation move, like you said, all or nothing. They're gonna have to show their hand and see what's really on the table. That might get people's interest.
Holy shit, Ray, we stop the presses. What the hell is that, Micah? Thank you, my friend. Oh my God! Stop the presses.
I can't leave the StreamYard, so you got to do it for me.
I know. I'm gonna throw it up. Forget, you know what, guys? I'm sorry. We're going to forget about Madeline Pryor for a minute. Check this out, everybody. Holy stuckies. What the hell is this? Where'd it go? No, it's in the story. View the story. Come on, view the story.
View the story. Yes. Mo Tuesday.
No,
Mo Wednesday.
Never mind. It's here. Where is it?
Pull it up, brother.
Instagram. Where is it? I know you're here. You can't run. You can't hide from me.
maybe they'll add a Cable figure because it's his mom's in the bunch.
Ooh, Ray.
What is that?
What is that?
Is that Masterverse Origins?
What are those? What is that? What is that? Oh my gosh, Micah, what are you showing us, brother? Hold on. Let's get the other one in there. Whoa, baby. What's going on? Hold on.
Is that Masterverse? Damn.
Hold on. Wait. There's one more. What? What is that? Oh my God. It's Disco Skeletor. No, it's got to be Netflix.
It's the Netflix one, yeah. It's the Netflix. But is it Masterverse or Origins build?
There's the question.
What's the build?
I'm thinking, looking at it right now. Oh man, that's just too. It looks
like the CGI line.
No, look, it's got hand articulation. It's got wrist.
Masterverse.
Yeah, you know what? It's hard to tell.
What does it say in this? It doesn't say anything. It's just an image.
It's a story. Here, I'll try to. I'll pull it up on my actual Instagram. Oh my God.
The plastics indicate that it might be Masterverse, but it looks like CG.
Oh no, here it is. It's not a story. Wait, it's not a story. Cosmic Skeletor is coming to unleash some planetary panic. Get him online first at Walmart starting Tuesday. Okay, I'm thinking.
What?
It's at Walmart. And it's going to be for Walmart CollectorCon. No, I'm thinking you're right. I'm thinking now that this is Netflix Kids Edition.
Yeah,
but it is like a deluxe figure.
Yeah, because the plastics are too big and they're too vibrant, like the CGI. Because I have the CGI line right here, actually.
You know what, brother? This. You know what?
And it looks similar to, if I look at the wing structure, look at this. It looks just like Sorceress's stuff.
Attacking Grayskull. This thing would be awesome. Oh my God!
See the plastics?
Did you put in? No, not the classics. Did you put in? Did you put in for the Netflix Grayskull? Because honestly, it looks freaking awesome.
I have the opportunity to pick one up this weekend. I don't know if I will, though, because I have ToonCon coming, and I'm going to meet Melinda Britt and Alan Oppenheimer, so I think that's going to take...
You're kidding. Wow.
Yeah, that's going to take most of my attention. So.
Oh, my gosh, just crazy.
I think I'm saving for them.
All right, so we basically gone off the rails. Micah, thank you for doing that.
Wow, what a release.
And you know what? On that note, I'm thinking that, there's not much more to say. There's really not, Ray, there's not much more to say here. I think the path is clear.
Eternia.
Well, I mean, what I mean is, I think the path is clear for Haslab. Show the rest of the tiers. Show the rest of the tiers.
Show the rest of the tiers, or they're going to be having tiers. Let me just say that.
They got to do something fast. They've really got to do something fast. It's not working. Madeline Pryor was supposed to be, this savior of this, at least, to bring in new blood, right? And let's just see it. Let's go ahead. Final refresh before we log off. About 10 minutes ago, it was 5,404. Hit refresh. It's 5,409. It is trickling along. It is like drip, drip.
Dude, his canopy felt better than this.
Drip, like it is. There's no bleeding anymore. There's no bleeding, but you're literally at a slow drip for an IV right now.
Hey, Jay, his canopy felt better than this.
Oh, Jesus Christ. we're on IV right now. It's an IV drip, and we are slowly being fed whatever can come to us right now. I think that's where we are. Ray, I want to thank you so much for being here, brother. Thank you so much for helping me, navigate this crazy Haslab that oh my God, just I don't know. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that everyone who really wants this is actually going to get it, and I hope they get everything that comes to them, because you know what? Right now, I'm thinking they'll probably hit Madeline. That's why I know where you're standing. I know where you're. I know where you.
Oh, I'm not standing. I'm in the lifeboat, 100 yards away, and I'm watching it sink. And I'm just going
I know what you're doing, but my thought is still it's going to back, because they're about halfway now. It's going to back, but it's going to be just barely, and they might just barely reach Madeline. But if not, it's just going to be Robbie Reyes and a head sculpt and a car. That's pretty.
I give it 48 hours before they succumb and backtrack and do another release tier, or like you said, release future tiers in all succession. They might be able to save it and pull it out of the water, but they got to do something more.
You know what? Before the bleeding stops again, before the bleeding starts again, right? They've got to re-energize this campaign, because right now, this Hail Mary, it fell 2 yards short. The what's it called, the receiving end, it got tackled right in the end zone. Like it was incomplete. It is incomplete. If we're gonna keep talking about football, it was a complete miss. Like honestly, just crazy. So far. Anyway, time will tell. We might, by tomorrow, who knows? We might see that the Hail Mary actually worked. But for now, because the international timeline, people on the other side of the globe, whatever, right? We just don't know. We have no idea. 24 hours from now, things might change. We will see. But if they don't, some serious considerations have to come and find out exactly where they're going to stand and what's going to happen come this time tomorrow. Ray, thank you again, my friend, for putting in all your wonderful thoughts. This has been an absolute blast. I want to thank each and everybody here for sharing this commentary with us. This has been just an absolute crazy day. Ray, give me your last thoughts on Eternia. What are your thoughts, brother? Like, if any, I know what your basic thoughts are, but what do you think?
Man, I want that box that we saw for 1,500. The damaged box. No, it's either you're going to find a place to put it, or you're going to display it in the box to save space. It is a big item. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the Motu community. After 40 years, we're finally seeing a launch of Eternia in a climate that makes sense. Motu is at the height of its game. As we saw, the Cosmic Skeletor got more of a reaction from us than the initial launch of this Haslab project. And that should tell you something too, because it's probably for the Netflix CGI toy line. And that's just baffling to me. But again, I'm happy for the Motu community. I hope it works out for the Haslab community and everybody that's back in the project. I really hope that does work out for you guys. I know I've just been blowing a lot of smoke towards your guys' way, but hopefully, like you said, it works out for everybody in the end. That's all I have here. How you doing?
You know what? I'm more or less in agreement with you. I mean, like I'm so wanting that Eternia. Like it's palpable, right? You can taste it in the air. They need a payment plan. Gwildor, Agreed, old Watchy guy. Payment plan would make a big difference. Absolutely, World Tour. It would make a huge difference. If there's a payment plan, I'm in. Like, I'm not even thinking about it. I'm right square in there. We're going to find out next week if there are any payment plans. This was leaked very early on Shop, which is, of course, Shopify's online ordering system. And you know what? They had to show their hand. Now it's out. The cat's out of the bag. Eternia is on the way. Whether it gets funded or not is up to you, the fans, and whether or not you want this to actually back. Guys, let's see what happens with Eternia 1 month from now, 1 month and 1 week from now. That's going to be an absolute blast. As far as Madeline Pryor goes, and of course Robbie Reyes, the future is not looking too bright at this stage. We will find out 24 hours from now where that sits. If it starts to turn around, perhaps we'll see another tier, or perhaps they'll wait until Madeline Pryor is actually backed before releasing another tier after that. The strategy for me, though, is not working. They need to release all of those tiers so that they can really get this project energized and going forward again. Because right now it's IV drip, IV drip, IV drip, and it's not. Right now, it's not looking. I can't see the horizon. I just can't. Right? I just can't see it. Last few comments before we log off for the night. Jimmy Volkas, Jimmy Volakis. Sorry, my apologies. It's probably $724 for Eternia in Canada. I believe you're probably right.
I think in the US too, because again, we were talking about processing fees, tax, and shipping, and those aren't included in the initial $550. They say $50 shipping, but I expect that to be a little bit more, and we don't know well, some of us do, what the tax is going to be. So on $500, you're looking about a couple $100. So it's gonna be up there.
Well, it depends on your state. At 8%, I think it's probably going to be more in line with $60, something like that. I don't think it's going to hit the $100 mark on $500. I don't think so. But anyway, we'll find out sooner rather than later. Jigsaw Nora, I think it's up at BBTS with new Masterverse and Origins figures. The Disco Skeletor. Oh wow, we'll have to check that out. Thank you, Jigsaw Nora. Brett Wood. It's the form of the CGI show, but in a different line. Nito. If it is actually Masterverse, it looks.
Dude, that'd be killer. That would be great. It would be a deluxe. It would be a big package, kind of like Battle Cat.
Star Max says it's from the CGI show. This stream has just gone completely multi right now. Greg, if the label did not say Skeletor, I would never have thought it was Skeletor. What? No, I knew it was Skeletor right away. Warrior Toys. If it failed, they will never release these figs due to being salty. No, that's not true, to Warrior. They spent the money. They need to release these figures. They need to get that money back. Shazoom. Figures have always needed kids to help them make them sell. Hasbro cuts them out of the system, meaning we were relying on older fans. Eventually, Hasbro will realize that they can't do that forever. I agree with you, Shazoom. But these are specifically marketed towards adults, so they have their own market. But even adults have a ceiling that they cannot pass. So there you go. Wonderful insights, though. Actually, okay, one pouch man. Big piece to you, my friend. Russell Hale, great live stream, Jay and Ray. Thank you so much, Russell. Really good to see you. Ray of Black. Okay, guys, got to take off. I'll check everyone out later. Geek proud to you, Ray. Wonderful to see you guys. Nolan, great stream. Ray and Jay, thanks, Nolan. Really appreciate it. Jeffrey Mayfield, wish they gave us more figures. Wish they gave us more figures for Eternia and also more unlocks. $550 for $600 for one figure. Kind of whack. We do not know that yet.
Yeah, that's still open.
We do not know that yet. Come Tuesday, they might actually say, to reach this goal, and you know what? Here are the stretch goals, because they did have stretch goals for the WWE ring, and they put them all out there for us to see. So Jeffrey, stay tuned. We might see some stretch goals. You just never know.
Snake Man.
Snowfall, cheers, guys. Cheers, Snowfall. Primate 776, what's going on, brother? Ray and Jay, thanks for an awesome stream. Good night. Thank you so much, Primate 776. Good to see you, my friend. Armando, I hear it'll be over 1K for Canadians. Well, if you actually do it through the Canadian system, you're probably right. Find a relative in America, and I think that's really what it boils down to. The Ruckus. What if a payment plan is offered, but will they want interest? No. These days, the payment plan systems seem to do it interest free. I don't know how they're doing that, but they seem to be doing it. So Ruckus, look them up. There are some wonderful payment options out there. Nolan, oh, if there's a payment plan, that's a different story. Yes, exactly. All right, we're gonna have to. Okay, these are absolute. These are the actual last comments for the day, guys. Alejandro Barrera, I'm excited for the Star Saber. Yeah, man, it's looking great. I hope you get yours very, very soon. Skew Raider, 400 to 450 for Eternia. Harms the price argument, hurts the consistency. I agree the prices are getting out of hand, but the consistent or folks need to go after the Eternia's price too. I hear what you're saying, Curator, but truthfully, I don't think they could have done it for 400. I just can't see it. It's the tooling involved, everything about it. I was, many of us were thinking 800. Like a lot of us were thinking 800.
Yeah, there was that environment too. But we've been calling it for a while, Jay. We've been kind of sitting in this environment of like, a steady 450, 500 is a conservative price for this kind of product. And if Haslab's putting out a Fast and the Furious car for 350 and it's going to potentially back, then 500 for Eternia is great. 600 for Eternia is fantastic. Again, talking about that secondary market, it will go up. So I think it's a good price point to sit at.
I think so too. Sorry, guys, I can't get to any of the specific questions right now. We really are logging off. Gwildor, see you again soon. Geek Proud, absolutely. Geek Proud to you too, Gwildor. Anxious Collector. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm really just okay. This has to be the last question. Hasbro needs to stop hiring pencil pushers and start hiring fans of their IPs. No, that wouldn't work. That would not. I'm sorry. Nothing would get done. We get the dream projects, but all the little projects would be left behind. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. Fans are not the best employees. It's just not the way it works. It really
that's when you get the anime Iron Man suit from the Black Panther thing we just saw. That's what happens when fans start working.
From Bubblegum Crisis, everybody likes. There's a fan. There's an anime fan. There's an anime fan in the Wakanda tribe, man. That's actually that's how she's not Wakandan, but she's or is she? I can't remember.
Evangelion Iron Man.
Pretty much. Ironheart is an anime figure now. Just crazy. Aaron Hardy, that thing will be almost $1,000 Canadian. You know what? Very possible. God Ravage, bye, Jay and friends. And with that, my friends, goodbye, God Ravage. With that, my friends, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here, liking, commenting, and subscribing to the channel. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I post up to 2 episodes a week, and I hope you guys enjoy. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, that bell notification, so you guys will always know when new episodes are posted. Guys, thank you so much for being here tonight. Ray, last word. Take it away, my friend.
Hey, buy it if you want it, back it if you love it, and if it's not for you, then move on.
Absolutely, my friend. Words to live by. Guys, thank you so much for spending time with us. We hope you're all doing well, staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Geek Proud.
Geek Proud.